I know. I think that most people don't really see the difference between my glasses or contacts. I mean, it was different. The reason why I don't wear my contacts that much is because I'm running out of contacts. I need to order more, and I'm lazy.
I'd respect you more if you embraced your glasses.
I mean, I think every time you see me, I wear my glasses. So
yeah, but you don't embrace them. You don't respect them. Like we live in a day and age where you get to have them.
I personally don't like them. My glasses just get in the way. I have to push them up. They they're just in my face all times, and I don't like it. I like that I can just look around and look at this. See that? I can see when I do that. Can't do that. My glasses are on. I got fully turned my head. Peripheral vision gone. See that? Can't see that when my glasses are on. My glasses are big too, so imagine if I had the small glasses.
You could get goggles.
That would take away even more.
You know, my teacher Dave, he had glasses that had the edge thing. So I think you're just coming up with excuses.
No, and I'm sure he had bad peripheral vision.
No, this one. No, he had Shut up. Glasses, clear side paneling that are also glasses.
Well, that doesn't help with peripheral vision. It's not the frame that bothers me. Imagine this. This is all I can see out of. See right here?
Yeah.
Right here. I can't see if I'm blind.
Yeah, but I'm saying he had
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying I physically, if I just look down, I can't see. It doesn't matter if the frame's clear or not. I've had those before.
Ripley, go lay down. We're not doing this bullshit where you're just snapping and barking and causing up a scene. Go lay down. Lay down.
The way glasses work, even if it's a clear frame, okay? I look down at my cheek. Look down your cheek right now.
Yeah.
The glasses don't move when I look down, and if I can't see, I can't see.
Girly pop. Why do you need to see your cheek? It looked blurry anyway when I looked down at it.
Say something I drop. Say you tell me to look down. My peripheral vision doesn't exist. Or say I'm looking to my right, right here. The glasses don't go
You're making me angry.
The glasses don't go around my face. You can't. Every time I look, if I'm wearing my glasses, I have to turn my whole head. I'm trying to see this picture of Chance. I'd have to turn because I've got glasses on. Even if the frame didn't exist, it's the fact that there's no physical lens right here.
Moving your neck's good for you, I think.
You know what? You've never worn glasses before, so you don't even understand. You don't even understand what's happening right now.
You're right.
I'm wearing this out. I'm wearing this out 6 years old.
I ain't got no steak in this conversation, but I love steak, especially medium rare.
Disgusting.
Raw.
Kinsey likes hers basically red. This is Kinsey. She puts on the stove. She goes, done. That shit's bleeding. That shit's gushing blood. She's like,
Her and I are the same.
She's a little vampire. It's fine. Yeah, Kinsey still ain't here, y'all. But she'll be back. She'll be back.
Sorry, guys, if she's your favorite character.
She's your favorite character. She'll be back 99% sure.
They're going to be season 3 of Post Credit Depression. Our favorite character's not even there.
I know.
You might as well
she's
just go
having
skip
a character arc, everyone. I'm 99% sure she'll be back next episode. I personally have to help her set up with her shit. So
when do we get our character arcs? You know what? I'm not going to envy this. I'm gonna take a step back.
Damn.
It's a lot of hard work, actually, guys, having a character
I think I'm
arc.
going through my character arc. It's just a long one.
You know what? I actually think I'm going through a character arc, too.
See?
But,
they're all just different. Kinsey's going through the character arc where, they go on an adventure and they return back. When we're doing, another adventure later, and Kinsey comes back. She's like, hey, guys, I'm finally back from my personal development tour. Mm-hmm. And we're like, bitch, we needed you 4 months ago when the dragon attacked the house.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I have side quests delivering mushrooms to all the villagers.
Mm-hmm.
To campaign for one of the village mayors. And I stole that one from Tears of the Kingdom.
Doing nothing. I'm finding love.
What do you mean finding it? What if she hears this? That sounds awful.
That was the quest.
I'll let you cut that.
The quest was to find love.
Okay, cool. Now what are you doing? Now that one's done, what are you doing now?
Hey, Ripley, you have anything to insert to this conversation?
No, her side quest is to shut the fuck up for once.
Just kidding. Ripley doesn't get any say in the conversation.
Actually, she's a very quiet dog. She's just being very needy right now.
We've had her speak on every episode. Oh, she is. Ew, Ripley.
You heard me say the word dog and you came over.
Dog.
I don't think I give her pets and she acts.
At me. She went, and she stayed there for a second.
Now go lay down.
Hey, you see my bamboo plant behind you?
I did. I saw all that algae in there.
So
I was
pretty,
like,
isn't it?
Ew.
Okay, well, other than the algae, the plant.
You could put a fish in there. I bet he'd go to town on that algae.
Yeah, but it's too small.
Yeah, don't leave him in there forever. Just let him snack. Snail.
Okay, but the
snail.
plant.
Wait, the snail would leave.
The plant.
The
Yeah.
snail would be like.
I'd be like, Grandma, you have to put the snail back in. But acknowledge the plant itself, though, not the algae.
If you paid me, I'd sit here and I'd flick the snail back in every time.
Acknowledge the bamboo. Look how much it's grown.
Oh yeah. Look, that's according to how we've grown. Apparently, that's Kinsey, the tallest one. And then
Yes.
you get these 2 side quests. You're the 2 short ones because
Yeah,
of your like.
Because
you
I'm
know.
the shortest one in the group.
Yeah, and honestly, I've been through a lot too. Maybe
Uh-huh.
not as much, but I've been through a lot. I just got a little more support at home, so that's why I get this medium one. But Kinsey got the tallest one because she's been going through the most.
Yeah. It looks good, though. Those plants only had like 3 plants on each one when I bought it
Yeah,
like a year ago. Babies grow slow, though.
I finished the Pepsi this time.
Ew, you drank all of it?
This time,
You put the other one in the fridge, didn't you, last time?
Nope.
There was one half empty in the fridge. Maybe it was mine. I thought I was going to drink it. I don't know why I put it back in the fridge.
mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
This is a nice living room.
Cleaned it myself.
We are sitting in the living room this week. Mariah's living room.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the change of environment. I like being able to
This
come
used
over.
to be the front door. Isn't that wild? This used to be the front door right here.
I just need more excuses to get out. What was that? Come again?
Yeah. Anyway. You're listening to
Remember? Wait. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut. I did not mean to cut off the intro, but do you remember when we had only recorded one episode, or I think we were preparing, and we told someone we were starting a podcast, and they're like, "We have a podcast," and it was at Starbucks.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. And it was the barista, and they were like, oh my God, we'll have to check you out when you guys get up and going. And we never spoke to them again.
Yep.
I think I followed them on Instagram. Or you
I
followed
think
them
you
on Instagram.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Don't know where that went.
It's
Networking.
fine. We're trying. You're listening to Postcard Depression, where we talk about this week's current hyperfixation. My name's Mariah, and my fun fact is we just got done planting some nice, juicy tomato plants in the garden. Did I steal that from you?
No.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Kaylin, and my fun fact is I just got done planting some juicy vegetables in the garden.
Yep. We both just got done planting some vegetables in the garden for this year. Anyway, we are sowing the seeds for some fresh tomatoes, some green peppers, red peppers.
Technically, we didn't have any seeds. I don't know what you're
Cucumbers.
talking
We had
about.
seedlings.
Sprouts.
They're all seedlings, aren't they? Am I dumb?
Seeds, dude, but my
But
guy.
I said seedlings. I think they're called seedlings.
Oh,
Maybe I'm dumb.
I don't know.
Sprouts sounds better. Some cherry tomatoes, some red tomatoes, some red
She looked like
peppers,
pig.
green peppers, some cucumbers. I bet you Kinsey's gonna steal some this year. She didn't eat any last year.
What?
Anything while she's up here.
Yeah. I'll have to bring her some down. I mean, I still, even if we, like, can and make soup and shit, and make salsa, like, I still feel like we're going to have more than we're going to handle. Like, we had 2 really successful plants, and the rest of the tomatoes, like, were like, here you go.
Oh, I would say we had 4 that produced a very good service. Last year we only had 6, right? Because we pulled the one early because it died. So maybe we had 7. 4 of them, so the cherry tomatoes made a bunch of tomatoes. 3 of them, one of them just didn't make big ones because it wasn't a big one. 3 of the plants out of the 5 regular tomatoes did successfully produce a lot of tomatoes.
But now we have 8 tomatoes, including the cherry one. So I'm saying, in theory, hopefully, because we picked a lot of the ones that were the same as the successful ones last year, because we were just trying out different breeds. Now that most of them are the same breed, we should yield ideally 8 different tomato plants. Now we did get a couple of new ones, like I think 3 new ones.
Yeah, but we did some last year that weren't the steak ones, and they just didn't grow as many.
Yeah.
And they grew a lot later in the season. So I remember there was a bunch of green ones, and I was like, these aren't going to grow, and I gave them to you and my dad.
I tried to make fried green tomatoes, and I don't
I'm going to
know.
have to ask my stepmom, because apparently my stepmom has a good recipe for fried green tomatoes.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine were just like, Also, I think it's like the way that you fry them, and like I haven't even fried things in years, and like Southern people, they have freaking like skillets on their stove with grease in them at all times, and they
We
use
used to do that
it.
when I was a kid. I hated it. It felt so unsafe.
Yeah, you use it over and over and over again until you change it out, and like literally it's just like burnt crispy stuff, and it's a whole thing. It's like, I feel like you just can't do that in apartment 1 and 2. You got to be really experienced with it.
Yeah,
And
you do.
the food is really greasy at the end, so it's like so hard in your stomach that you're just like, I'm not even gonna get started learning how to
Yeah.
do that. But it is good when you do it right.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I swear we used to have a pot that just had grease in it. But what's this? It's grease. Don't worry about it. I was like, oh, okay.
I know grease is such a weird concept.
Yeah. My grandma used bacon grease to cook everything.
Soon we're gonna watch Fried Green Tomatoes for Pride.
Are we for sure?
Maybe. It's kind of a long movie, so that's the thing is I do want you guys to see it at some point because if you guys liked Interview with a Vampire being subliminally gay and freaked out about it, it's kind of like that. But
yeah.
I mean, also it is a long movie and we're kind of busy, so we'll see.
We'll see. We got time. Pride's a
I
whole
can see your
month.
grandma liking it. You can come in here and watch it with her.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
It's probably something she would like, to be
It's
honest.
from the 90s, so.
Yeah, it's whatever.
So is Interview with a Vampire, actually.
She's seen Interview with the Vampire when I told her about it. She said, I've seen that one. It's a pretty good one.
And you guys watch it, you're like,
I
Caitlin
was
watched
like-
that as a child?
I was like, that's full frontal.
Mm-hmm.
Tits
Sorry.
and vagina. Caitlin watches at 13.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Watch the kids.
Well, this week, I had to pick.
What? Shut up. What are you showing us this week?
Yeah.
Mariah?
This week I stumbled across a random movie. It wasn't actually random. I've seen it before. But I really wanted, after Kayla and I hung out last time, to show, the fuck did I say?
You wanted to show us the You Hate I
Nope,
Hate
that
You.
wasn't, I was thinking the other one in my head.
The
Love, Simon is what I wanted Kayla to watch. But we had the discussion about Pride Month being next month and that we should watch queer stuff next month. And then I wanted to show The Hate You Give, but I want Kenzie to be here for that one. So I added it to my list, my bookmarked list. And I stumbled across a film that I watched that has both the lead actors from those films all in one. And that would be Everything, Everything, which is a romance, which I don't watch a lot of those, but I only watch the real cheesy ones. I watch the real cheesy rom-coms or the real like cheesy little middle school butterfly romance stories.
mm-hmm.
I read
yeah,
like
it definitely gave those vibes, like in that genre.
yeah, I don't care for like actual romance and like honestly a lot of stuff. Even like think about like what was really popular, like To All the Boys I Loved Before, or Kissing Booth, stuff like that. I never really got into.
There's one too about a sick kid at some point, or a sick girl.
Sick Girl.
They were on like the beach or some shit, and she's got like tubes in her nose. I remember that being a popular one.
Oh, the 6 Feet Apart.
No, I don't
tubes
know
up
what
her
it was
nose.
called. Yeah, it was so popular though.
What the fuck
And
do
it
you
was-
mean tubes up her nose? Like she had a breathing thing, like a
Yeah.
breathing tank.
I'm sorry. I
She
listen.
had an oxygen tank.
Who knows what's pumping in her?
Yeah, I mean
who
it's
kn-
probably
who kn-
oxygen, but
I don't know what I'll say. I don't know.
yeah, there was a lot of like cheesy ones though, and I never got into those. Like even some of the good ones, like Crazy Rich Asians, I never got into. Or what's that one? Not Burlington.
Oh, Bridgerton.
Bridgerton.
That one's actually recent.
I heard Bridgerton was good, but I haven't gotten it. I don't watch. A lot
I
of
watched the
romance,
first
so-
episode.
Did you like it?
I could see myself go back to watch more. It's definitely like up this genre of like I think romance. It's hard for romance to not be a little cheese. You
Mhm.
know, if it's done very very well, it's I would say maybe a drama or like maybe like I don't know. I feel like it'd have to be a drama for it
Are
to
you
not
trying
be.
to incline that?
Yeah.
I think it's the forward one. I think it's the other one. What are you doing? Yeah.
Oh, I found
Watch the
button.
laptop. So yeah, everything is a story about a girl who has a immune disease that can't leave the house,
Skid.
and she falls in love with this boy that lives next door to her. That moved next door.
Severe immunocompromised disability disorder.
I think you just shouldn't speak if you don't know what you're saying. 'Cause
What do you mean? I said that quite confidently.
And it's this whole tale of these two little 18-year-olds falling in love.
You know what I thought the second that they came to the window?
Huh.
Taylor Swift's "You Belong with Me."
It does give those vibes, especially because he's like writing notes at one point to show them
Yeah.
to her.
I was like, "Oh, Taylor Swift."
Yeah. So I told you, obviously Nate Robinson is from Love, Simon, and the girl I can't think of her name at the moment is also Rue from The Hunger Games. I told you that. That's a funny little thing.
I know you happily let me know that it was Rue after I told you. Which, by the way, she's 18, but when she was running around, her like boobies were like bouncing up and down. I was like, I told Mariah, I said she had big boobies, and like I didn't mean that derogatory or like rude.
You were
I
just
was just-
pointing out a fact.
Yeah, I was like, she got big boobies, and she's like, yeah, it's Rue from The Hunger Games, and I was like, I feel really weird after you said that right after that. I was
okay.
like, okay,
She's like 25 in real life, so she's like our age.
yeah, they're big. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way.
Yeah, you were
You just
literally
you usually
pointing it
don't
out.
even see and like main leads in romances are usually like either blonde or like medium brown colored hair and really skinny, like,
Ripley,
like pencil thin, skinny.
My foot's falling asleep. Yeah, so obviously this is your first time watching the film, Caitlin. What was your general take on it?
It definitely, was in the genre of cheese, but it was cute cheese, and I could see myself like really geeking out of, like, when I saw the trailer for this, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I want to see that. Like, I'd love to go watch that, but I don't go out of my way to watch like romance films anymore. It's just like, I guess unless it's like fantasy, I don't see myself like doing it. It's something that you did with your girlfriends when you were in like middle school, high school, and you're like, oh my god, this movie's so good, like, let's watch it, let's like at a sleepover. Gives me those vibes, but like I still watch it. I had my boyfriend with me with it, which if you're gonna watch romance films at all with anybody, like, it's always fun to watch them with him, because
yeah, he loves rom-coms like Skate.
yeah, and he freaking called the whole plot like right from the beginning, and then I hated it because maybe I wouldn't have thought of it first, but I was like, okay.
Yeah, things like movies like that in general, like Cheyenne personally hates when we watch movies together, like random movies, because I always predict the ending. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I've just consumed so much media, or because I've like watched
that you
so
can
many
understand
movies.
usual tropes.
Yeah, every time I'm not even talking like usual stuff, like anything random. I'll be like, I bet you this happens. It's like when we watch Promised Neverland. Why don't they just zip line? And then Kinsey was like, what did you just say? It's like, I don't know, something in my brain just like clicks like common, like what could happen, or because like I think when I watch stuff, I'm like, obviously the bad guys are gonna lose and the good guys are gonna win. How? But this came out in 2017, so I was already out of high school, like past tropes like this. Like, yeah, I've experienced tropes like this. I knew it was kind of gonna happen. So kind of a bummer, and I think like just how the story was going very fast, that you could kind of put two and two together.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a book, so I mean, I didn't read the book. I can't tell you what the pacing was like or what these characters are really like. And we did talk about, like, I mean, at one point I was severely like sheltered and antisocial, that I feel like, it
can go either way.
Yeah, like I could see her falling for a guy super fast, but in reality, like, it doesn't usually work out, because, like, first of all, even finding my man, who I'm very appreciative of because he's a nice man, you got to sift through a lot of garbage. So likely the first guy who's nice to you that you run into is not going to be that great of a guy. It's just it's the probability.
No,
We're
I
in
think it's
fiction.
a 50-50
We're in fiction
when
so
you're like, not even 50-50. Like, I just think, like, for instance, Cheyenne, one of my closest friends, very sheltered growing up, and she is very much out there. I was sheltered growing up, complete opposite. Like, there's people who can grow up sheltered, and they're like, actually, now that I'm free, I want to explore the world and everything there is. And there's people who are sheltered who are terrified to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think she was a mix of both, which I think is what they were trying to do with, like, her internal conflict, because at some point she was like, I can't see you, this isn't going to work out.
Yeah.
And she was also thinking about both of them, not just herself, but, like, with that said, this is fiction. We're in a fictional world, so, like, I look past it. I worry, I guess, for young eyes watching it, because like, really all he did before they started kissing and like really being romantic is texted a little bit, made a few jokes, like they kind of just jumped right into it, which I'm not even saying that like you can't meet somebody and really hit it off with them. I guess the dialogue and writing, their acting had great chemistry.
Oh yeah.
The dialogue and the writing was not there, because the mom was like, tell me what you like about him. And she's like, he's kind. And we talk all the time. And I just, as the viewer, wanted to be like, what do you guys talk about? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, give me a little bit more. But like, obviously, like, as long as you understand it's fiction, you just go along with the story. It was still like a good story. It's just like, that's why it felt fast. Like, there was no build up of, I feel like there's probably a lot better like romance movies out there where they show like really good getting to know one another. Like, what are your problems? Like, he had a few family issues, but like, don't we all? Tell me some, like, what are your hopes, your dreams? Yeah, I can
imagine the book went deeper into like him, because you're right, they only kind of showed flashes of the fact that like his mom was in an abusive relationship.
Like, are you passionate about art? Are you like aspiring to open a business someday? Do you want to, get really good at like a sport? Like, what do you like? Like,
she good? She itching over there. She was offended.
I'll have to check her out. Even if it's not like something super aspirational, like maybe he's just like, I really like going and seeing concerts. Music really moves me. I love dancing. Like, you don't have to like be competitive or productive with what it is that you like to do. Like, give me some character.
Yeah.
you were. Oh wait, they did give him one character trait. He was smart. I forgot.
And he liked to skateboard.
And he liked to skateboard. Well, yeah, but even with the skateboarding, he skateboarded in front of me, but he didn't like.
He skateboarded, and on the phone once she called him and she said, "What are you doing?" He's, "I'm skateboarding," and she was like, "Any fun?" He's like, "There's no girls to show off to."
Yeah, I mean, I get that he has hobbies. I maybe I'm being hard. I'm just saying, like, we watch Skate the Infinity, so we're like, it's fun.
Yeah, like there definitely could have been some more development. And you're right, because this is targeted towards a younger audience than we are, obviously. So I think watching it, that you're like wanting to make sure people are aware that like it's not always that easy, and also like not that always that safe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could have been like,
He literally, yeah, they're
mentally
texting, and then that girl
not
was like,
there.
Carla was like, "Yeah, he can come." Then they hung out, and they still fucking walked towards. What I would say is how boldly she was able to just like risk her life. After
Yeah.
this is her first time meeting someone, and she was like, they were like, "Don't go near each other," and she was just like standing at 2 feet away from him.
Yeah, she was just drawn to him. I can believe it if you're where she was at, because like she even said like, wouldn't you be crazy if you were locked up for 18 years?
But then they
I
kissed
buy
on
all
the
of it.
second time they were hanging out.
Listen, as far as her behavior goes, I bought all of it. I bought all of her character. Like, she's the sheltered one, okay? Like, y'all explained that very clearly that
Yeah.
she ain't gonna act right. She gonna act a little crazy. And even at the end, I liked her comparison to the Little Prince, because she's like, you know what? Like, even if this kills me, I want to like live. I'm tired of this, Grandma.
Yeah, it was just a bit. I guess you're right in the sense of like, yeah, she probably just was like going crazy, and I think like also the fact that she was an avid book reader, she was probably like fantasizing these moments.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about this podcast is we are going to, maybe break it apart in a realistic way, and then we're going to come back down to the fictional level and just like talk about it like based off of what it is. It's a romance little like cheesy movie for, a younger audience, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, you're right once again, like that's maybe not the safest way to go about it, but like I bought it.
She was taking so much risk. Like, I mean, if she really did have this autoimmune disease, like she was running outside for this man. I was
Yeah.
like, girl, you about to die.
Also just like in an Elsa way, you do not know this man.
Yeah. I was like, girl, relax. I mean, obviously, like you said, we're watching the movie. You're not questioning it that much. You're just like, oh, enjoying a cheesy movie. It's funny. But like,
Yeah.
I was like, girly, you don't know what your body's capable of doing. I think that I'll give her him coming inside because he was sterilized. And it's also kind of funny how
the friend can just come over, like
yeah,
the one
friend
daughter.
came over, and like the maid
close.
lady, she's like Carla, like she was talking.
She was
to
a
them,
nurse.
hugging them.
That was a stereotype.
No, I thought that they said she was a maid. I'm sorry.
Is it because
I
she
think
was
she
speaking
was-
Spanish?
No, I think
Feliz
she was like
cumpleaños.
both, though, because she did pick up around the house, and she also was a nurse.
Well, you said she was a nurse.
Fuck
She's
off.
not. She's
Anyway,
not a maid.
Carla came in and she touched Carla. She hugged Carla. They hung out. So
Yeah,
like,
in theory, why can't she have more
Yes.
friends come over?
and I'm
Why-
not saying she needs to have a bunch of friends, because you're right. You don't know where all these people have been if you really have this autoimmune disease. But like, you're telling me she can't have one reliable friend?
I also liked. Well, I'm jumping ahead. I'll hold that thought. Anyways, yeah, I did want to bring that up as well, because like in theory, yeah, she could have like boyfriends and friends.
And there
come
could be
over.
ways to do it, whether it's like, okay, we'll have clean clothes that we keep here that you have to change into as soon as you get sterilized. Like, there's processes I'm sure the mom could have done.
I think maybe it's like the mom wanted her daughter happy. Like, I think number one, she wanted her daughter for selfish reasons, like to not be alone. She already lost so much, and this is all she had left.
Mm-hmm.
Blah 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 blah.
And I think she's speaking from a realistic review, and she's like, this can't be a thing. Because
Well-
it's true. You can't have both.
Yeah, and I think that. But here's the thing too: is I think maybe she saw how sad she was, so she's like, "That's fine. Your daughter can come, like as long as she's sterilized." But then, when it's like you give a mouse a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you give a mouse a cookie, and they want to
Capitalism.
Yeah. Shut up. But she's like, oh, can't this boy come over? And she's probably like, listen, you're already risking it as it is, but she knows it's not really a fucking illness. She knows she's lying to her daughter.
Mhm.
So she's like, I get to cherry pick. Like, you can have a friend, but you can't have a boyfriend. You can't have other friends. You can't have too many.
Yeah, because she's a liar.
Yeah, she said that her mom signed her up for freaking like social groups, and she's like, yeah, other people are really sick, or they really are sad or antisocial because they can't leave either. And I'm like,
Damn.
imagine, I can relate to that. That's like when you think you like anime, so you go to anime club, but then like it's not your people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, suddenly I'm not anime enough.
Suddenly, I don't know enough One Piece lore to be in this club.
Gosh. Yeah. I also like the smoothness of the mom telling her like he can't come back, and she's like he's never been here, and she just like casually threw.
Oh, that was such a bitch move.
I'm not gonna lie, like if that was my mom.
Honestly, I thought she was gonna pull up the Ring camera because I was like,
yeah,
that's what I thought she was
You
gonna
would think she'd be smart enough to have a fucking camera in the house.
well, a camera in the house, but you saw the camera on the door.
Uh-huh.
She's a doctor. Like, apparently she's the world's best doctor. You saw that house? That looked like a spaceship.
Oh my god, I know. It was so much.
When you saw houses like that, or like the Cullens house when you were a kid, you were like, my house is gonna be prettier than this. Like, what do you think you're gonna grow up?
Yeah.
And you get your 2-bedroom apartment, and you can't like, save a fucking cent past that. Please listen and share our podcast, and go like us on Instagram and Twitter.
I also loved the scene where she comes out to her open room with the window and all the oceans are there.
Oh yeah, if you look past the sketch
speed,
of the meeting, we can focus on the rest of the romance movie. And he did a lot of really sweet and thoughtful things for her being sick. Oh, you know what Colin and I had said at first about how fast they were going? I was like, what if he just liked the idea of like sick girl? Like what if that turned him on? Or like what if he's like, she's like very sterile, very clean, never before been outside. Like
anyway,
no, I'm just saying you really don't know like
you don't know
people's
him.
intentions, and they could be as nice as they can be, but like they could be fucking weird. And luckily it's just fiction, and he's
true.
it was funny that we mentioned it because I'm like, you're not wrong, because a lot of girls who have been heavily sheltered by their parents, when they run into the first like nice guy they meet, he can tell she's antisocial as fuck or shy or sheltered, and they know exactly like what to do to persuade them to do anything, and their intentions like are all laid out in their head, all mapped out. But from her perspective, she just sees smiling nice guy. Hello, you look great today. Like
you're not wrong.
But
that aside, back to the fictional world.
Fiction.
I think that it was so sweet that he was like already committing to this girl that he didn't even know if he'd be able to hold. Mm-hmm. Like at least not anytime soon.
Yeah, she was very pretty. So I mean, I don't blame the guy. He's like, pretty girl.
Yeah.
And like he was trying to like just like slip in there casually, like, hey, I'm neighbor. Here's a cake.
And I do think genuinely at first he just wanted a friendship with her, because he even said at one point like, I don't know how long I'll be here.
Yeah.
Because he moves so much.
Yeah.
So I think he was just enjoying the connection while it was there.
Yeah, not in a fuckboy way either. I mean,
I think he was just curious about her situation, and he did want to get to know
actually
her.
bleep that. Beep.
And it wasn't like that like deep of a thing. I think he genuinely was like, yeah, this is a nice girl that I want to get to know, and if something happens, but also like I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I don't know if I can be able to talk to her in real life, like that kind of deal.
A friend of mine, based off of what you're saying, is like, I know that there was a guy who was traveling around and they matched on Tinder and they hit it off a lot, but he wasn't even trying to meet up to fuck. He was just like having a nice FaceTime conversation, but like, moved on. You left your banana peel there.
It'll be fine. It won't go bad within the hour.
Okay.
I didn't want to get up and throw it away.
You're good. Yeah, I liked the cinematography, by the way. Like I would imagine that a movie about a girl being trapped in her house could get boring with like how much you're able to show, but like they definitely showed her mind palace a lot.
Her mind palace, where she was always talking to him and he was there.
Like she's at a little diner, she's at a little, cafe, and she liked to design interior architecture, which was a very neat little hobby, but like, she would imagine herself in these grand places.
The one at the library where she's like kind of like upset, not upset at him, she's upset at the situation, she's like trying to pull away from him. It's like my favorite thing. She's talking to the astronaut, he's like just text him, and she's like I can't, and then he
calls her,
and he's like down the stairs because it's like supposed to represent
he's like, pick up
trying
the phone
to distance him or distance herself from him, and he's like pick up, she's like I can't, and you're just like, this is so, like, you're right, the cinematography of showing that distance that they were internally feeling did so good.
Visualization of it.
And it was like him chasing her and her running, and every time she was running and she was like, I can't do this, and he's like, what do you mean? And then they did it again when they were upset, or I think when she was sick at first, and they were both in space, like kind of drifting apart from each other. So they did really good, representing those feelings, I would say.
Yeah, it was really nice, and I liked the astronaut guy, who was really funny, and I liked the parallel because, like, she probably felt like an astronaut being in the spaceship she can't leave, you know? Also, I wonder what's in the sanitation room that literally the parent and the maids could step into, and it's, like, clean.
That's what I'm saying. It's like some, UV light shit, those fancy blue lights they made during COVID.
Probably all a lie. The doctor's like, it's fine,
It's some bull crap.
Yeah, I was gonna get to where we're a little later in the story, but I do like the explanation to how she'd get so sick. It's they're like, yeah, normal people get sick, like normal healthy people get sick all the time, and especially people who
Have never been outside.
never been outside or never had been in contact. Like you have to be exposed and get sick to build that up. Which also, fuck you, mom, for that. That's actually kind of abusive.
It's bad. I have a non-fiction point to touch on.
Is it about the real life mom with her child who she predicted she was sick?
It's still
and
about
so
the
the
movie.
child killed the mom.
No, shut up. It's still about the movie, but I'm taking the realist route real quick.
Oh, okay.
Did they have sex when they were in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Imagine this girl has known him for how long? First time leaving the house, and she's like, I want it all.
I told Colin I'd do the same if I thought I was about to die.
She didn't think she was gonna die.
No, girl. First of all, she told him that she'd been doing some testing and that she was going to be fine. When did she ever do the testing? I think she was lying to him that she did testing and that she was better off than other people with skid.
Yeah.
And I think that she wrote in her note, she said, like the little prince, because he dies at the end. She's like, I want to go live my life and I don't care if I die. So I think it was a little suicidal. I think she's like, let me get this dick and dip. She said, I want to experience it all. I want to experience Hawaii.
I guess that's valid. I know, because she was like, we're going to Hawaii. And he was like, is Southern California not good enough?
See, listen, I was not a proper child. And back when I was a virgin, I was like, please, God, just let me make it to where I know what it's like before I die. So sorry. Not all of us are as angelic as you are, Mariah.
Anyway. I guess that's fitting. It was just very, like, I think taken aback, like, they're having sex right now.
I know.
Like, at first I was like, oh, that's sweet. He's unzipping her dress. And then I was like, wait a second.
I know,
he kept
when they
going.
have the freaking, when they get to Hawaii and they're like, one bed. I'm like, one bed at the inn.
Love a good one bed
Didn't
trope.
you guys book these yourself? She knew what she was doing.
She did. She set him up.
She did.
But
who was playing who, really?
Honestly, you're not wrong. I think she was playing him. She was like, finally someone in the outside world.
She's like somebody who looks like they're a member of One Direction with their not cut hair. Come here, you.
Which ones do you look like?
All of them at once.
Yeah, the followers don't know. Kaylin's not hip to One Direction.
But like, imagine if you face smash all of them. Imagine if you face smash all of them. He'd look like a cousin to this guy.
I think he looks like maybe Louis and Liam mixed together. Louis and Liam both have the longer brown hair.
Yeah, well, yeah, long hair, but like then Liam has the square face. Niall.
Who? Niall? Liam. Anyway. Yeah, I do think you're right. I think to an extent they were both, like, she was using him.
Honestly.
Not in that way, but like a little bit. She couldn't drive. She never left the house.
She said, I already bought the tickets. Like, what do you do? He's like,
get back in the house. She's like, I'm not. I'm gonna go without you. And he was like, get in the fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, might as well come with. I like how he called his sister and was like, listen, if anyone asks, you don't know where the fuck I am.
Also, their poor family. Why is the sister walking around like she's like some hot rich like girl from the 2000s with her metallic looking skirt?
All I'm saying is, if you're gonna be poor or have a bad home life, you might as well enjoy something in life. And if it's her fashions and she loves, let her love it.
Wonder where she gets it from. Why are you staring at Mariah Ripley?
Do you have a problem, Ripley?
Girl,
why are you all in my business?
Pet her.
I don't like to pet her for a long time. Ew, see? Ew, she licked my whole hand.
Rippy, we're doing the podcast. We had a whole day. Remember we took you to the garden store?
Oh, she just leaped, bro. I guess Ripley does get commentary in the pod.
We went to the garden store. How did you like the smell of everything? Do you remember crawling under the table? Like a little
Yeah, why was she sitting under the table? Anyway, she's not speaking today. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense that they had sex at Hawaii, but it was a lot. And then she just, like, had a whole, like, attack the next morning, like, out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was like, is she pregnant?
No, it's the way she, like, grabbed herself. I was like, bitch, you ain't pregnant. You just had sex. Relax. You wouldn't know yet. Lay down. But she was acting like she was, like, freaking out that she could be.
She laying on my chest now. Now we're petting. You can talk with me. Oh, she got her closed eyes. Nasty dog. Anyways, yeah, I did think she was pregnant. I was like, I mean, they rushed everything else in this damn movie.
It's okay.
Do you remember when Edward got Bella pregnant?
Anyway, we're not talking about that movie. Yeah, and then afterwards, she like gets rushed to the hospital. She doesn't need to see him, and then the mom's like all mad. Ew.
Oh my god.
The
Sorry,
mom's
we sound
like,
straight abusive. You should cut some of these. I'm literally.
we're not abusing Ripley, everyone. And we're
I
just
know.
being assholes.
She's
to her
actually
today.
all cuddled up on me and just like really in my business. You know I
But
get it.
and then the mom's like fuming, right? Like she can't believe that she had the balls.
Oh yeah, she tries calling the cops. I'm like, bitch, she 18. You can't
Yeah,
do shit.
She's 18. She's allowed to leave.
Yeah, sick or not, you can't do
Well,
that.
I think they're trying to accuse him of kidnapping her or some shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, but she wrote a note saying, "I'm dipping. Bye."
Literally. And then she goes digging. Why did she go digging through her medical stuff again?
Oh, so she gets a call from
yes,
Hawaii
yes.
about her lab results, saying that like she seems to have a very weak immune system, and she's like, "That's because I have SCID," and they're like, "No, you don't," and she's like,
They're
"I've
like,
had it since I was a
"You would've
baby."
died.
They're like, yeah, SCID is very, very rare, and she's like, and then she just started investigating around, which I'm like, if her mom was committing this much abuse and malpractice, would she have not wrote up a fake letter to keep in the office?
Yeah.
There's got to be one lying around, but like, we got to advance the plot. So like, oh no, we can't find the papers. She's like, and then when she said, okay, this is what pissed me off. When the mom said, because the mom, at least she seemed like half a decent parent. She seemed strict, but she seemed half decent and at least like a pretty positive like person.
Yeah, she did. She was
But then
just,
she said,
mentally not there.
maybe you took them. She said, when she said that, I was like,
Because she's
Bitch, what you
panicking.
talking-
She's reaching for straws at this point.
I know, but I was just like, you didn't seem like the kind to like be that. Well, I guess yeah, she gaslit her whole life, but it was an accusation kind of gaslight though. Like maybe you took the papers unknowingly. Ripley. I
Yeah.
was like, bitch, this is the first time I've been digging around down here. Ripley.
Yeah, and and then she has this cute little scene. We talked about it. Obviously, the chemistry between the two actors is very, very well done.
Yeah, that is true.
So when they show, oh, that was so precious, Ripley. She got all cuddly on you.
She just literally tucked her head in.
Her and her loose tooth. And then when they show up at the library together, and she's like, "What would you do if you could, redo one part of your life or something like that, or you could fix one part or get rid of one part or something like that?" He's like, "It's already been done." I love the way they speak because she'll be speaking all like romantic from her books, and he's just like, "But it's already happened. What do you mean?" Like when they were arguing, she's like, "We can't do it." And he's like, "Why?" And she's like, "Ellipses." And he's just like to the point. He's like, "Get to the point. What are you doing?" And she was just like, "What if we could, erase one part?" And he's like, "But then I wouldn't remember you."
I don't like that the one like personality trait they gave him besides his like skateboarding was he had this whole math nerding outside, and it's like you never see that again. We're just like, we gotta say he's smart so that he seems like he has more to him, because he looks like the bad boy with his long hair wearing all black, but he's actually really smart too.
Yeah,
Even
that
though
was
he
the
has a
twist that he
comes from a
wasn't-
dysfunctional household.
Yeah, that was the twist of the events,
I'm like, but then they only mentioned it the one time and never again, and it like.
And he was in summer school.
Yeah, like what if give me one moment in Honolulu where like he's like really good at like math, like counting some change or some shit. Like she's like maybe she's having trouble like breaking her bill because she only likes English literature. She's like, I can't fucking do math. You think I studied math in homeschooling? And he'd be like, I got it. Like give me some more. Like give me some more to him where I'm like, oh yeah, my math nerdy boy, come pull it up.
You're like, hot shit right there.
Yeah,
Look at
hot
man
shit.
that can do math. I got number dyslexia over here. Show me some calculations.
Instead, I got myself another artist, and we both like. I think I asked him. What did I ask him the other day? It was some random like, what's this divided by that? And he's like, what is it? And I'm like, I'm asking you.
Damn. I was at Kids and her grandma came in and was like, "Can I ask a science question to both of you two? Because both of you guys have college degrees." And Katie said, "Yeah." And then her grandma went on a whole rant about DNAs and asked questions. And I looked at her and I looked at Katie. I said, "I went to school for graphic design. I don't know shit about DNAs. I had to take one science class. I went to a liberal arts school and I took forensic science.
That's a random
That was the
one.
easiest shit in the world."
I had a lot of anthropology classes, which I appreciated in culturing my little,
What is that about the
Mississippi
body?
ass.
What is that about the body?
anthropology is like the study of different
I
cultures.
said
As
that's anatomy that I said. Yeah,
well,
continue.
sociology is the study of society, but anthropology is about different cultures and also a little bit of how they came to be, and that goes all the way back to when there was like different kinds of homos. Don't ask me. I might can say.
I'm sorry. I was just man, funny.
I know there's like a homo. Never mind. I'm not even gonna try to sound
Homo
smart.
sapien.
Yes, right.
Well,
There's homo sapien.
You said just homo. And I was
The
like gay
the only
people.
one I can remember from way back is like Artholopithecus or the Pithecus. You know, that's all I can remember. But I did like how it cultured my mind. I did.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I went to a liberal arts school, which sucked because at times like I didn't get as much advanced stuff with art. But I did like that I had to learn a little bit about everything except for math. Other than that, it was nice.
Yeah, I mean, do I remember what the homos' names were? No, but now do I understand? I'm like, cool.
I took
different
a government class
ancestors.
and I learned how Germany and France's Germany and France's government worked, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked.
Did I remember it all? No, you're right. I didn't. But I did
Yeah.
have to write a 15-page paper comparing the U.S. government to the France government.
Yeah, especially when you're raised like in Southern America,
Yeah.
you really have a very
You didn't
narrow-minded
learn a lot.
perspective. You're just kind of like everybody else is wrong, we're right, and we need to get everybody on the same page as us. And it's like, y'all, there are so many different societies. Like, have you traveled once?
Bro,
You know?
you told me that all you learned about slavery was that it happened. I was like, excuse me?
I know it's a very
Given that,
embarrassing
obviously-
fact, but like one, you know, and I'm not trying to say this in a deflecting way. It was not my fault.
Yes.
But when I got to college, I was like,
You took it upon yourself.
yeah, I was like, well, we were doing a project on it and like a literal art project, and I was like, let me look up some stuff because in the story, the farmer started shooting at the slaves. I was like, what is he doing? He's gonna kill them. Those are other people. And I was like, I looked it up and I didn't realize like it was that bad. I don't know. I know that sounds dumb.
You were taught about indentured servitude, not slavery.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, we can talk more about it any other day, but it's
Yeah,
just,
no, I mean, obviously, yeah, I was raised up north and in a black household, so I learned about it probably to an extent that a lot of my white friends didn't learn about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's even the way you just described it. I think that was my perspective because also think about the South who still they fly flags that they shouldn't be flying.
I got friends down there; they still be doing that shit.
They're probably going to be teaching it in a very romanticized way too, where they're like, oh yeah, you can't own people, that's wrong, but like it wasn't all that bad. Like
yeah, that's
you
true.
can imagine the kind of people that like I was being taught by in actual history classes at my high school. So it's not the best place. But, we're here now.
But just like our homegirl from
you can
from
look it up
Everything
just like our
Everything.
homegirl. You
What's
got the
her name?
internet.
just like our homegirl from everything, we broke free from that, Caitlin.
I was living in
You were living in a trapped house where everything was
sterilized.
sterilized.
But really it was a lie.
But really, it was all a lie, and then you broke free one day, and you learned that not everything needed to be filtered, that you were learning.
And I moved.
And you moved.
I did.
And you fell in love, just like our girl from Everything.
Yeah. And I definitely don't, when I tell the story, I really say it from like a, that's wild, that's crazy, and actually it's a disappointing thing. I don't speak on it like, I'm proud I learned. Eventually, it's like, cool, as you should, and anybody else really should just, I always tell them in a way of like, look it up then. Like, I looked it up, you can look it up, It's not anybody's job out here to like teach each other. Like you have the accessibility and the power as an adult to like go figure it the fuck out. If you didn't, if let's say you were just, you don't get to pick where you're born, you don't get to pick who you're raised by, you don't get to pick if your mom keeps you sheltered in your house. Like, you have the power to figure it out yourself and like break free.
You've got to break free.
That's not how it goes. I want to break
thank you.
free.
Anyway, well, Caitlin, would you be sharing?
Girl, we're 44 minutes in.
I guess you're right. I didn't have anything else to say. I figured it was 44. We would be ending in.
Oh, sorry. I thought we always try to reach an hour.
We try to go between 45 minutes and an hour.
Well, you are 6 minutes just in time.
Well,
Or 6 seconds just in time.
I know, but we still had to ask if you'd share it and talk about what we were going to do next week, which I figured was going to be a topic. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, Caitlin, would you share everything with anyone else? Aside from Kinsey. I wouldn't even share it with Kinsey. I think she'd hate it.
I really don't.
think she'd roast it.
No, I here's the thing is I think a lot of my friends and family come to me for like really deep or like really good anime,
Yeah.
really like deep stories, deep plot. If I went back in a time machine, that would and I was introducing it to another younger girl. I don't know any young girls. Like I only have brothers in my family. I don't know anybody who would like this. So I'm going to say no for now, but it wasn't a bad movie. I'll definitely reference and talk about it though,
Yeah.
But I think this might be the first time I've ever said just like flat out no. I don't think I would.
Dang.
No hate to the movie though.
Yeah, I mean, mostly because, like you said, you have no one that you would expect that would want something like this. I think
Yeah.
I watched this in theaters with like a random friend at the theater just because we wanted something to do. It wasn't something that I went out of my way to watch.
Yeah. Oh my god. If it were like in the movie theater and you and I were just going to the movies and we're like, what are we gonna watch? And like all the other options were shit. Like I'd be like, let's go watch this. Like I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
it
that
looked
is true.
cute.
Like you said, I don't like romance, and unless there was nothing better to watch, I'd be like, I could watch a romance film if I have to.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like for example, you know what it is too is I think that we watched the Crawdaddies. That's one of the other romances we watched on the podcast.
The Crawdaddies.
Yeah, where the Crawdaddies sing, and I really liked the message, the build up. I liked the takeaways, the things that you could learn
Mhm.
because when we break from fiction into real life, it translated very well and like how you should be treated and also maybe things that you should seek for in a relationship
Yeah.
versus what you shouldn't and for what reasons. And like it also gave like a really good like no matter what your situation is, your family situation or what, like you can build your life up again. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's giving me Matilda by Harry Styles, which like I don't care what you think about Harry Styles. I love that song.
That's a good song.
It makes me feel very emotional. Like
I thought you were talking about Matilda the movie. I was like, yeah, great film.
that song. But this one, I don't think it translated very well. If anything, it gave me Nemo vibes. Finding Nemo, like Marlin losing his wife and other kids, and he's like overprotective over just the one. Except for Finding Nemo, at least it was about the dad learning to like loosen up a little bit. And in this one, it's like I think it was just cute. That's all it was, and that's why.
That's all it was meant to be, I think, too.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe if I were having a random little slumber party night with my girlfriends and we wanted something cute to put on just to feel like we're in high school
That's the
again.
vibes it gives. Yeah, like a high school sleepover.
Yeah, it's not bad for that. Like, it's like how some people wouldn't want to recommend Twilight any other day, but you get in Twilight moods and you're watching all 4 movies in a row.
5.
And like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Dang, well, I guess in theory, Kaylin, what are you sharing next week now that Kinsey will be back?
If Kinsey's gonna be back, we can. I actually wanted to talk to you about this outside of the podcast.
It's okay.
Because it's gonna be Pride Month now. I don't know if I want to jump straight into Florence or if we should just start doing Pride shit off the bat.
We do have 4 weeks of Pride.
I guess the turn can come back around to me then if we do mine next week in theory.
Yeah, so like we could do Pride on the or we can do Florence on the 6th, and then Kinsey on the 3rd, me on the 20th, and you on the 27th. So in theory, we could still do Pride stuff if you want. But if you want, I'm.
Oh,
okay
you're
with,
right. You're right.
I'm okay with doing either one if you want to push it.
No, I'll take 2 for Pride. I'll take 2 for June.
So Kaylin, what are you sharing with us next week? We did some of that I'm probably gonna cut because I don't have my mic on me. I'm just letting you know. We did talk about doing Pride stuff, guys. In next week is Pride, so you're allowed to be gay.
We're gonna start out strong with some Florence.
Unless you're in fucking Florida, because you're not allowed to be gay there. Anyway.
Yeah. Let me be clear. We're not touching on Florida. We're touching on Florence, the machine.
Yeah, next week, Kaylin is we're gonna skip next week for Pride, and then we'll be back because there's only 3 of us, and we are going to share 3 things for Pride, obviously. But next week, Kaylin, tell me one more time what you are planning on sharing with us.
11 songs from Florence and the Machine. I'm sure you're on the edge of your seat as to what these songs are. If we have any listeners and you've been listening for this long and you're pissing your pants wondering what these songs are,
I'll post them.
and you really, really like have a favorite song, you better call out on Instagram. You better interact with us, or else you're just getting these 11 songs. Like, and you can't be mad that out of all of our albums, I didn't include one of them because it's really hard to make my own and
I'll even
playlist.
give everyone a heads up. I'll post the songs on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it'll be fun.
So, and Kinsey should be back, everyone. If not, we'll be skipping Florence once again, but she should be back. Don't worry.
And then we can just go straight into Pride, and y'all won't hear about Florence and the Machine.
Yeah, and maybe
July.
you guys will forget. Okay, talk to you guys next week.
Later, losers.
Bye.